what's the latest with, I suppose, Prestia, Risha and Sard?
Sard looks like he'll be out this week. Hopefully only 1 week. Risha as well won't play this week. Scans, he's got a little bit of a tear in his shoulder. He'll see the surgeon in Melbourne Friday. It's not an uncommon injury. So him being mentally tough, we do the right strength work around, he should be able to be back and play in a few weeks. But by the same token, there might be episodes along the way. And Dion's pulled up better than we'd thought, so he'll be named. So we'll do a final test on him down at Geelong. We'll take 24 down and we'll see how that goes.
What did they have to do this morning to, I guess, help make you line up for you? Those guys, I guess particularly Sardi.
Oh yeah, Sardi was still a bit sore in the hip, so he just couldn't do what we wanted him to do running wise. So that was an easy decision early. Michael was always the case. He's still a little bit of range of movement not there, so that was an easy decision as well. Dion was really keen to play, and he did a lot of testing before training, and the strength and everything was there. And the way he performed on the track, and he was pretty keen on playing. But having said that, we'll just wait and see how it settles and see how he is Saturday morning.
So no word yet on how much time Sardal is?
Well, hopefully only 1 week.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a bit of deja vu, Rocket, with the injuries? Like you copped a lot last year, and a lot of them are impact injuries too. Like, does it feel like a sense of deja vu?
People might think that, but these really aren't longer term. So we're including Swallow and O'Meara, and fingers crossed with them that we'll be getting them back. So obviously Stephen May adds to that with his suspension, but the next 4 or 5 weeks will certainly be challenging. But having said that, they'll all be back after that. So I think the group's in a positive light. There was a lot of energy today. This is just another challenge we've got to face. And I was really pleased the way we accepted that challenge at the end of last year. We found some players, and there's no doubt we'll find some more. So I think there'll be positives come out of it, and we're looking forward to it.
I know coaches like to be probably conservative with injuries, but just with Dion, I guess might not be a predicament at the moment, but his situation, just in regards to you've just lost Risha, you've mentioned the guys you're already missing. Does that make it more difficult to weigh up whether you should play him this week or whether
he won't be playing unless he can convince us he's 100%. Adam Sard was along the lines he wanted to play, but no, we're not going to take anyone that we don't believe can get through the game and then can back up and play next week. It's no good them playing 1 week and not playing the next week.
How's Gaz, Rocket? He seems copped a blow on the calf. He seems a bit sore. How's he
No, it's funny. He's had a couple of little knocks each week. One on the sternum a couple of weeks ago, then he's back. His shoulder's fine. If people worry about it, you noticed in the game on the weekend he didn't even strap his shoulder. So his shoulder's 100%. He is, and he's trained well this week. So it's just a couple of little knocks here and there that's affected him. Last week he was a bit stiff with the core calf. It really wasn't a big knock, but it hit a blood vessel and burst a blood vessel. So that there was a lot of blood there that's swelled up, but it wasn't actually on the muscle. So he's got through that pretty well. He's trained today, okay. So no, he's fine.
Do you? I think you said after the game he's just turned a corner, so you'd sort of been going barely the first few weeks. Do you need that sort of Gary level that we've become used to now with the less troops in the midfield?
Oh, there's no doubt you love Gary at his best. Look, I think he's been more than serviceable. I think he's had a couple of, probably the Brisbane game was a bit more of a down game, and the rest I thought he was okay on the weekend. He's just been carrying these little niggles here and there in different parts of his body just from knocks. I think him as a captain, he wants to get out and play. But it's been a fairly free run this week, so hopefully that he know that he can perform at that level that we have come to expect. But if Dion plays, the midfield's not too bad.
Well, you touched on the tough 5 or 6 weeks you have in front of you. What's the key to success in getting through that 5 or 6 weeks? Has there been a key message, like is one aspect of the game?
We haven't addressed it as such as what the next 5 or 6 weeks. You don't want to get ahead too far. It's obviously week by week. But the positive attitude today was terrific, and I think when there's challenges set, that we seem to cope with that better than if we're big favourites and everything's going swimmingly. So I'd expect whoever we pick on the weekend is going to have a good account of themselves. I think there's going to be a lot of positive energy about it. It's a difficult ground to go and play at. We've performed well the last couple of years, especially last year. We had 31 shots to 26, and a lot of inside 50s, so we should go there with a bit of confidence and looking forward to the challenge.
Tom Lynch has set a really high benchmark for himself these first 5 weeks. Is that a level that you think he can keep producing every single week?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's going to be every single week because opposition are going to have more say in that as it goes along, as any player. Any player that starts to get some form, teams are going to do the homework more on the situation. He just needs some more assistance. I think Peter Wright last week showed they can give him that assistance. We've got to use the ball a little bit better, that we don't have to go to Tom all the time. I think we've got to share the load. And if Tom doesn't kick his 4 or 5 goals, but can contribute in other ways, scoring assists, well, that's, he's a sort of team player, so we're not going to rely, hopefully, on him to be able to do that.
Like, he is becoming a bit more of a marked man, especially in this start of the season that he's had. He probably looked like he should have got a few more frees on the weekend. Do you think he's getting enough attention in that?
Well, there certainly was at least 3, probably 5 kicks that were missed last week. I've spoken to the umpire's advisor about those, so Scott Thompson's very good at that, as is Tom Lonigan. They're very good at negating a player. Tom's got to work his way around that. They look for support. Obviously Taylor drops off to support. So Tom's, to his credit and probably his positive play, he's not a stay-at-home anchor, big full forward that some of them are. They stay in the same spot. So he's got the ability to move, mark on the angles, mark coming up towards the footy, can play up the ground as well. So as I said, Tom can hopefully gets the ball out both side 50 and sets them up. So.
How's the confidence? It's been a couple of weeks from the victory. Is the team's confidence staying high as it was at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, certainly. There's no doubt about that. And all you can take is the way they attack training. They seem to attack that really well. At the weekend, I thought we played okay. I thought the effort was good. We just didn't use the ball well. We've been last 4 weeks #1 for kick rate, field kicks in the competition, but we were 9th or 10th on the weekend, and we're still #1. So if we'd used the ball the way we'd used it, we would have given us a real good chance of winning. So the effort's there. The week before was disappointing, but we just got to bring that effort, and then hopefully the way we move the ball and the way we defend is up to scratch.
Okay, just with the other guys that could possibly come up for risk and that kind of stuff, can we expect a Mackenzie Willis or a Darcy to come up for those guys?
Well, that's something we're going to have a match committee this afternoon to finalise that. But certainly Mackenzie Willis and Darcy McPherson have been playing really well. And we like to, I suppose, integrity around the selection that if you've got good form, you'll get picked. So they're certainly in the mix. Ryan Davis, Brandon Matera have been form's okay as well. So Henry Shade is another one. So it gives us another option. Henry's been really good for 3 or 4 weeks now. So there's a few players around that have been playing well, so we can pick them on form.
North Melbourne, I guess a lot of the chapters around that about their height last weekend. Geelong, they've got a pretty big forward line, but is it more concerning the midfield with guys like Joel Selwood and
Yeah, probably the midfield. Yeah, look, last week North only took 2 contested marks inside their field 50, so I thought our backs did a pretty good job, to be honest. There was a couple just through really turnovers and got us out the back at times, but I thought in the air, I thought we were okay. So certainly Geelong bring another issue in that area, but with Selwood and Dangerfield playing, but they've got some good players as well with Caddy and Guthrie and Duncan and these players. So they've got a pretty good midfield that bats deep. So I think it's a great challenge for our guys. And then obviously we'll play some other players through there. Jack Martin did well last week, we thought, when he went through. Tuke Miller. So now we've got some options to be able to throw through there.